Okay, so if you're doing prolonged work in a standing position, or you're lifting things and you've got the option to have those things to be lifted from or moved from a certain height, the safe space that you want to try and work in as much as possible is from your belly button to your nipples, essentially, to the middle of your chest. If you were just to stand there with your arms by your side at 90 degrees, you would see that that usually comes in at around about your belly button, okay? So from your belly button to the midpoint of your chest is the safe space. That sort of 30 centimetre range is where you want to try and do as much of your prolonged work in as possible if you're doing any standing or repetitive type work like that, or just work in general where possible. Once you get below that, anything that you're lifting from that position, you will need to bend forward, and anything that you're lifting or carrying above that, you will most likely lean backwards. And that's just due to the change in the center of mass that you're going to experience when you're moving an object that's lower or higher than that midpoint or the safe point. So that's just something to keep in the back of your mind. Another thing to note when you're carrying objects. So unless it is a sharp object, a hot object, or just completely unhygienic, try to hug it as close to your chest as possible. If you look from the side position, if I'm carrying something out here, whatever this weight is out in front of my body, say that's 5 kilos. Well, I've now put 5 kilos well ahead of my center of mass, plus the weight of my arms. So I'm going to subconsciously take that same weight backwards. So now I'm unnecessarily hinging at the lumbar spine and putting a significant strain on the lumbar spine, as well as really stressing the shoulder muscle, which in comparison to the rest of your body isn't a very strong muscle group. So if you're able to hug it close to your chest, that's going to be a much easier thing for you to do and a much safer thing for you to do, and you'll be able to hold that position for much, much longer. So just to recap on that, when you're carrying anything, keep it as close to the chest as possible, and also try and keep it within that safe space from the belly button to the chest height as well.